Wilton Mill. An awesome track that's one of my favourites on the Club 100 calendar, but it's also a track I've always struggled with.
Oh, there's been an incident here. Is that
Sam Morris, the number 60?
Oh,
there's another driver off as well there.
That's way off at Osiers.
So you guys know the score now. 3 heats, 1 final, and hopefully something at the end of it. So the first heat, as you can see, I'm starting 15th. My objective is just to have a good start, don't have an incident, which seems to be a bit of a problem at the moment, and finish 13th or higher, which is ahead of my fellow Class 3 drivers. So let's see what happens. So I think gaining 6 positions on the first lap definitely qualifies as having a good start. So going up the hill, I've actually got a bit of a run, and one of my fellow Class 3 drivers has also made a brilliant start himself, but unfortunately I could not make this move stick. And as you can see, my GoPro is starting to lose hope again, but I discovered after this race that it was actually broken, my mount was broken, so I replaced it after this race, so all the footage afterwards is going to look mint. So a couple of laps later, I'm still right on this guy's tail, and going up the hill, I've got an opportunity to overtake again, going into Christmas corner, and I go for a move, and can I make it stick? Of course not. So it seems to be a bit of a trend in this video, if I'm honest. And a couple of laps later, my GoPro's really had it now, and unfortunately, not making that move stick, it really did cost me, because I made a mistake in one of the calls. I couldn't tell you which one. I lost 2 positions because of it. And that's the way that race ended. But I wasn't disappointed at all. I finished 11th on the road and I achieved all my objectives. But it got even better for me after the race. Because of the carnage at the start, and I just managed to avoid it all and take advantage, there were a handful of penalties handed out, and I got promoted all the way up to 8th place, which I was buzzing with, because I think that's my highest ever finish in a heat. So because of that, I've got a massive chance of qualifying for the B final later on. So yeah, it's looking like I've actually got some pace today. But I did try out some indoor karting beforehand. Maybe that was why. Okay, maybe not. So anyway, on to Heat 2. I'm starting 19th, which is the back of a massive grid in Club 100 terms. So my objectives for this race are very similar to Heat 1. Have a good start, don't have an incident, and finish 15th or higher this time, which is ahead of the other Class 3 drivers. So let's see. as you can see, it's another great start to a race. I've gained 5 positions and I'm up to 14. And after the first 2 where I gained 6, that's a total of 11 positions I've gained just on the first laps alone. So now my main aim is just to not make a mistake, I guess. I made a mistake. Obviously, I just wanted to check how good a Club 100 car would be as a mower. So I do work in the horticulture industry, and I can tell you they do not make good mowers. So unfortunately, that incident made me lose 2 positions, and if I'm honest, my composure, because I was quite annoyed at myself afterwards. So after this, I was just going much slower than the cars in front. Unfortunately, I lost a position there on lap 5, and a couple of laps later I lost it again on the same corner, and I'm down to 17th. So finishing 13th, what was position was that? I think it was 50th, wasn't it? So yeah, finishing top 15 wasn't going to happen, but fortunately I was promoted to 16th after this race because someone had a penalty in front. So yeah, I've got it all to do in the 3rd heat if I want to get into the B final. So I'm starting 15th, as you can see. Literally my main aim now is to finish in the top 10. I know it's a big ask, but if I want any chance of finishing the B final, or starting in the B final, sorry, I've got to finish quite high up. And something you might have noticed so far, I've had very poor starts to a race. I need to work on that in the future Club 100 events, because it's costing me positions at the start. But I'm going to speak over this here. So it's about 4 cots wide going into Christmas Corner, so it's quite close. And fortunately, I keep it on the track and gain a position. And here a cart manages to spin on the brake, and I've got to try and avoid him again. And I did avoid him, but only by spinning myself. But fortunately, a cart spun me around the back the right way again. So I'm still going, and behind Mr. Wilkins here. And yeah, finishing the top 10 maybe is still on the cards at this point, but I need to get by this driver in front of me as soon as possible, really, because I think he's a fellow Class 3 driver, but I know normally I can outpace him. So it's just a matter of whether I've got the ability to overtake him. So yeah, so into the 2nd lap, I'm still behind him quite closely, and I think this corner is Ashby, and I send it down the inside, and yet again I can't make a move stick, and yeah, it keeps the position again. And yeah, it did take me a while to get by him, so into lap 6 now I'm still stuck behind him. I can still see a couple of carts in front, but 10th is, yeah, is a few seconds up the road by this point. But look at this! Look at this! I send it down the inside and I keep it. Oh my god. So yeah, 13th place, and I didn't crash him out of the way. No penalty gain either. So there we go. Finished 13th in that race, which isn't bad to be fair, considering I started 15th. So it's still 2 positions gained. So every race I've had today, I've gained a position at least. So yeah, not a bad day considering. I'm going to be starting towards the front of the C final, and at this point I didn't know if it was in the B final or C final, but I assumed that would be in the C final. So in the C final I'm going to be starting in 6th place, so hopefully I can finish in the top 4. That's literally my only aim, so yeah, let's see if I do it. A few laps into the race, I'm still in 6th place, and not one position has changed, and it's a whole top 8, I don't think. It's just follow the leader. So into this corner here, I go a little bit deep, and unfortunately it makes me very slow for the first part of this lap, because it's all quite quick. So I'm quite far behind now, as you can see, and I'm getting quite annoyed at myself, and I get even more annoyed at myself here, and I go way too deep, and unfortunately it makes me lose 3 positions, and probably the chances of getting into the top 4 and into the B final, which is quite disappointing if I'm honest, because I thought I had the pace today to get into the B final, but yeah, never mind. And towards the end of this lap I get punted out wide from a bit of a poor move by this driver in front, and that is going to be very important later on, because that driver got a 4-place penalty to his result at the end of the race, which is going to be very important. So yeah, towards the end of this lap it bunches up a hell of a lot in front, and this is what I love about karting, because it's so close throughout. Even though I'm not winning per se, I'm thoroughly enjoying this. It's just like, it's so close, everyone can beat anyone, and it's just, yeah, I've got 3 drivers in front of me, I've got a few drivers that will bunch up trying to overtake me behind, and it's led to a point where we're pretty much 3 or 4 cars wide going up to Christmas corner, and yeah, I managed to pull a move going from 12th all the way up to 9th in 2 corners. I don't know how I managed it. It was a bit naughty on the end, going off track and forcing that driver off a little bit. But yeah, that was probably one of the more better moves I've done in Club 100, I'd say. So unfortunately I did lose a position on the X, because I did go wide, and I did drop back down to 11th. So yeah, my main aim now that I haven't got top 4, I'm very unlikely to finish top 4 anyway, is to beat my friend and fellow Class 3 driver, Andrew Ravage, who you can see there, nicely marked out. Also, he's got it embroidered on the back of his shirt, so you can keep track of me easier. So yeah, my main aim is just to beat him, because if I do, I get a trophy for being 3rd in class. And I didn't know it at the time, I just wanted to beat Andrew because he's one of my friends at Club 100, and we're obviously both quite competitive, and yeah, let's see if I can do it. The final couple of corners now, you guys can see that there's no red suited, blue helmeted driver in front of me, so that means I'm beating my friend Andrew, which in turn means I've won a trophy. And as you can see, that driver who punted me wide actually finished in front of me, so that penalty he got means I won the trophy. So yeah, my first trophy in Club 100, I'm so happy. So yeah, so this episode took a while to come out, and I've been very busy, but hopefully I can bring out more karting videos. I'll wait, there's lockdown, so I won't be going karting for a while. So yeah, I'll try to bring out some other things karting related. I'll try and think of some ideas. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode. So yeah, miracles do happen.